Two things magically happened on 21 May last year. The Albanese Labor government was elected. Very exciting. The coalition suddenly realised there was an issue with cost of living, and it was a sudden realisation because they didn't act on it during the 9 years they were in government. So let's examine why their sudden interest in helping with cost of living is such a charade now. Act 1. Under the coalition, the cost of childcare went up by 41%. 73,000 families were locked out of childcare because they couldn't afford it. And what did that mean? It meant kids couldn't get the early education we know is so critical. It meant there were fewer parents heading back into the workforce and contributing to our economy. And critically, when it comes to cost of living, it was a hit to household budgets. What is the Albanese Labor government doing to address this? We've reduced the cost of childcare for 96% of families across Australia. Approximately 7,800 families in my electorate are going to benefit from this. Over 9 years, those opposite allowed the cost of childcare to rise and rise. Under the Albanese Labor government, from 1 July, we are making childcare more affordable. Act number 2, power prices. This is probably where those opposite really excelled at acting. They acted like they were a government trying to come up with an energy policy. There were 22 attempts, but they couldn't deliver a single one. And even when they had the chance to provide households with energy relief, they voted against it. Instead of siding with the Australian people, they sided with gas companies. They act like they care about reducing energy prices, but they voted for higher power prices. Contrast that with the Albanese Labor government. We have an energy policy that's 1, not 22 attempts, and we are working our way through implementing it. We're upgrading our energy grid to enable more renewable energy to come online. Last year, we capped gas and coal prices to shield Australians from the unprecedented international pressures on energy markets. We're acting on climate change and providing households energy price relief. In tonight's budget, we're helping 5 million households and 1 million businesses with a reduction in energy bills. So those opposite couldn't deliver an energy policy, couldn't give industry certainty and couldn't help with power bills for households. What could they do? And we come to the final act. Here's one of the few policies they had when they were in government. 9 long years, and they had one policy, robo-debt. It is extraordinary that those opposite can come into this place and pretend to care about cost of living when they were the architects of robo-debt. It was an illegal and immoral policy that had devastating consequences on the most financially vulnerable in our community, and they knew it. It was those opposite who hounded the most vulnerable with unlawful debt notices, chasing them for debts they did not owe. It was those opposite who decided to play the role of debt collector, scaring Australians who are already right on the edge. Contrast that with the Labor government. In tonight's budget, we are making it easier for those receiving the single parenting payment and job seeker. So while those opposite put on the performance of a lifetime and pretend to care about cost of living, we are actually taking action. For 9 years under those opposite, the cost of childcare skyrocketed. They failed to deliver an energy plan and voted against providing energy price relief. And one of the few policies they had, robo-debt. Today is performative. For 9 years, they did nothing on cost of living. So they may deserve a gold logie for their acting job today, but they don't deserve to be in government. And that's why they were voted out on 21 May, and that's why you lost the seat of Aston, and that's why we have the wonderful new member for Aston, Mary Doyle, amongst our ranks.